Welcome back
Welcome
to our podcast.
to the TAE Time Podcast. Hope you had a good weekend, good Halloween, good. I hope you enjoyed the Halloween special that we put out there. Let us know what you think.
Spooky stories.
See what you think about it. If you'd like a little bit more of those, just in different times outside of Halloween, who knows? Let us know. Hope you had a fun time, at least on the long holiday weekend if you're in Ireland. If you're not, I hope you had a good weekend either way.
Yeah, I hope you did. I know there was a lot of fireworks around and all of that. I've seen actually some Reddit posts about people complaining about them, like, oh, what's going on in Ireland tonight and all this stuff. And it's like, is this your first Halloween here?
Yeah, it's pretty standard. Firecrackers, black cats, all those things, fireworks, like boom,
Constantly.
boom, boom, boom. Standard practice.
Yeah, it is. But do you know what? It's a nice vibe. We ended up going for a little drive, and there was like all I can call it is a circus. I don't know. It was like some lady on doing some aerobics. And it was cool. Like, it was just really cold, but it was cool.
But yeah, besides that, it was pretty good. But either way,
That's not what we're here for.
We're back. We're back for you. We're back with more. Dun, 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 dun. Reddit stories. Who would guess? Not me. Not you. Let's get into this shit.
Yeah, it's not very on brand for us to do these at all. On to the first story of today. It's an Am I the Asshole story. And it goes like this. Am I the asshole for telling my kid's babysitter that it was inappropriate of her to shower in my home? Also, just a little side note, I'm sorry for the kind of raspy voice this week. It's just been a long couple of days. Too much partying, but that's a different story. So, I hired a babysitter for my 5 and 3-year-old kids 2 weeks ago. My husband works shifts while I work long hours at a marketing company. So far, we've had no issues till yesterday. I came home at 6 p.m. and noticed the babysitter's wet hair and new clothes. She told me she took a shower after one of the kids spilled milk on her. I was confused but visibly upset, but she tried to reassure me the kids were fine because my husband watched them while she took her shower, which only lasted a few minutes. I was more confused that my husband was at home when he had a shift to cover. I told her I didn't think it was appropriate of her to shower in my home like that. She argued that it was fine and that she had no choice and couldn't leave the milk on her like that. We argued and my husband heard the commotion and got involved. He said it was not as big of a deal as I was making it out to be, but I told the babysitter that I did not appreciate how she basically ignored how I felt about this and dismissed my feelings still. She went home, but we still argued on the phone. She thinks she's done nothing wrong and says that I was being unfair when I mentioned potentially cutting from her salary after that. My husband keeps saying that I'm overreacting and the poor girl couldn't handle having milk stains on her body and clothes, but I couldn't help feel it was inappropriate and should have checked with me.
That is such a dumbass story. The fuck? Like, why would you be like, someone's taking care of your kids? Yeah, like, yeah, your husband's home, whatever. Milk gets spilt on them.
Yeah.
Like, what, you want them to be smelling sticky for the whole time? It's just
Like milk stain.
Yeah, exactly.
It
and
smells so
like,
bad.
Yo, I'm gonna clean this up and I'm gonna move on with my life, kind of thing. And but she's just like, being rude to her for that. Like, that just screams insecurities. It's like, oh my God, you were naked in my house in the bathroom while my husband was downstairs. Whore.
Do you know what though? Even if she's insecure about it, don't take it out on the babysitter. Like, ask your husband why he was home. Be like, hey, what happened with your shift?
I don't even understand why that would even be an issue. It's like, oh yeah, he came early home from it. Like, he got let go early from his shift. He was there, and then
it's okay for her to question it if that same morning he was like, I have a shift. She comes home and he happened to have been home. I would ask. I'd be like, why are you home? Like, at least tell me. Like,
yeah, I get you, but like, it's like, yeah, my shift finished early. Like, it doesn't even look like she was mad about the shift finishing early. She was like, oh, she was having a shower. My husband was downstairs. Like,
man, if you were at home at the same time with the babysitter, and I come home and this girl just showered in my apartment, you know, and while you're minding the kids, which I'm paying her to do.
But she had milk on her and she had to shower.
Girl, you don't need to shower. Just change your top or something. Use a wet cloth. Like,
no, now you're being her. Like,
know,
come on, no way. That makes no sense. She, we don't, like, for example, he might have just gone, like, this could be the example. She might have been feeding the kids. He might have just gone home when she was feeding the kids. The kids spill milk on her while he's entering the house. And then he's like, oh, shit, sorry. There's a bathroom upstairs. Feel free to go have a shower and change your clothes. And I'll clean this up. And then she's like, oh, thank you. He goes, blah, 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 comes back. She's like drying up her hair before she leaves. And then you walk in. And then it's like, why are you there showered in my house?
So she got milk spilled on her t-shirt, but she had to wash her hair.
No, she had a shower. Like,
why did she have to wash her hair?
I wash my hair every time I shower.
Listen. She's out here using my hair products.
Once again, we have no confirmation about that.
What? We don't know. Like,
it could just be water on the hair.
I don't care. To me, it's like, first of all, I would just be mad at my husband. I'd be like, why are you home? Do you know what I mean?
No sense.
Like, why am I paying her for you to be home? And then, because, like, obviously, if she was with the kids by herself, she wouldn't be showering. You can't leave a 3-year-old while you're out there like showering in my house. That's not what I'm paying you for.
You could real quick.
No, you couldn't. And you don't leave a 3-year-old unattended.
Yeah, I get you. Like, well, you technically do when you put them to sleep, so you could leave them in a car.
Yeah, in a car with a baby monitor and all that stuff.
You could leave them in a car and then quickly have a shower. Like, but once again, yeah, I see where you're coming from, but either way, I feel like this guy is calm and this woman is cuckoo for Cocoa Pops.
I don't know. She thinks she has the right to question it. I don't think she should cut her salary or any of that. Like, that's doing too much. But she has the right to question whatever she wants to question. On to the next story. Am I the asshole for telling my husband to get over himself when he started berating me for not picking up his brother's son from school? My husband took his nephew in after his dad, my husband's brother, was diagnosed with cancer. He told me that his nephew would be staying with us till the dad completes his chemo treatment. I agreed, although he did not consult me about it first, but I told him that he'll be his responsibility, not mine. He asked me to explain why, and I told him it's because, 1, he didn't consult me before taking his nephew in, and 2, I'm not equipped nor experienced in taking care of being committed to childcare. I still have to cook and clean, obviously. He said it was fine and that he'd be taking care of him on his own. The other day, he called me in one afternoon saying he was stuck in a 2-hour meeting and asked if I could go pick up his nephew from school. I said I was having lunch with mom and discussing family issues. He insisted, but I reminded him that he said he'd be taking care of his nephew, including school, pick up, drop off. I suggested he try to go off work or call some family member to go pick him up. He tried to argue, but I hung up. I went home at 3 and surprisingly found my husband there. He was angry. He started yelling at me, calling me selfish and unfeeling. I told him that his lack of management wasn't my fault. He yelled, saying that my lunch with mom could have fucking waited, but I chose to be petty just to prove a point. I said this wasn't true, and I told him to get over himself and stop acting like he was a victim when he put himself in the situation knowing he wouldn't commit. He yelled that he was trying to do all he can to help his brother out, but it was me who was playing the victim after I refused to help out. We argued some more, and I ended up going to stay with my mom for the night. He texted me some choice words. That's when I turned off my phone. We're still arguing about it.
You know, if that was me, and when I first read that story, and if that was me, I swear to God, I divorce that person. Some might say, like, oh, that's pretty, like, reactive reaction to that. No, I think that's a perfect reaction to that because that says so much about that person. Like, the way she's like, oh, you can call a family member to help. Yes, he is calling a family member. You are the family member.
Yeah.
You know, like, once again, we can always talk about him bringing in the kid without consulting her. There is so much room to discuss there. Absolutely agree. Like, that is something that he should have done, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, this is literally his brother having cancer in chemo. His brother needs help. This is his son. Like, like, how would you not want to help? You know, like, this is family. Like, it's not a situation of like, oh, should we? It's like, this is literally our family. Like, we just try as much as we can, especially when they're going through a very hard time, you know. And the fact that she was trying to be completely petty, being like, I was with my mom discussing family issues, like,
this is a family issue right now,
you know, and stuff like that. Like, it's so gross to me. Like, her reaction is so gross. She, like, just treating the kid as it's like something that's like, you already said you take care of it. Go take care of it. I didn't tell you to.
Yeah.
Bring it here. Go deal with it. And I'm going to take my sweet ass. Absolutely. I would have to absolutely divorce that person. That is like, I would have hoped to God I ever noticed that even before I even got married to that person. But that person is fucking disgusting. Like, the fuck. And like, some people might be like, oh, that's a really no. Honestly, that's just so wrong. Like, could you? And it's, you know, the funniest thing is, I can tell you that she's definitely, I can bet 100% type of person that if the roles were reversed, she would expect him to help 100% the same way, like, he asked. But like, you know how she goes, oh, I expect you to take everything. If he was to say that same responsibility, she'd be like, what's wrong with you? You know, and like, give him shit. But he just took on the chin, and only when he really, really needed help, he asked her, and she still couldn't even stand up for that. Nah, fuck her, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. There's not much to that story.
No,
like,
absolute scumbag.
Like,
scumbag.
Help your family out. Like, it's not that deep.
Yeah, no, like,
also, it's a family run. It's not asking for that much.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a school run.
Like, if anyone actually disagrees with that story, I'd love to see some logical reasoning as to why you would disagree with that point, because like, that shit is fucking wild.
Sorted by controversial to try to figure it out. On to the next story. Am I the asshole for asking my wife to pay her fair share? I have been married to my wife, Stacy, for 5 years, and we have 2 children together. I also share 3 children with my ex-wife, Hannah. Ever since Stacy and I got together, she has made it very clear to me that my 3 children are mine and Hannah's responsibility, not hers. This has worked out well so far, but lately it's been taking a toll on me. I pay Hannah child support every month. Ever since Stacy had our first child, she has demanded that I give her the same amount of money each month to keep things fair. In addition, I have to pay for half of our joint household expenses, i.e. mortgage, utilities, food, and my own car. Stacy pays for the majority of expenses for our children. Here lies the problem. Stacy has never taken issues with having care for mine and Hannah's children. She picks them up from school, takes them to activities, and ensures they have everything they need. However, anytime she purchases anything for them, she immediately sends me a Venmo request and demands I cover all expenses related to children that are not hers. We recently went on a family vacation, and she demanded that I pay for half of the portion of our children and all of the portion for Hannah's. I told her that all these expenses are taking a hit in my finances, and she didn't seem to care. She reiterated that my children are my responsibility. To add insult to injury, she recently started contributing money to college funds for her kids, while Hannah and I have nothing saved for our kids' college. Hannah found out and asked me to start funds for our kids. When I talked to Stacy about this, she said it was fine, but I had to put the same amount of money in the funds she has set up for our kids. I told Stacy I need her to start paying her fair share of expenses around the household. I cannot afford to pay child support, household expenses, and all these miscellaneous expenses that come up for my kids. It wouldn't hurt her financially, and she makes more than me, and she could easily spare some money. Stacy blew up and took our children to her parents' house, and I haven't heard from her in a day and a half. Am I the asshole for demanding that she pay her fair share?
That's a sticky one still. I'm not gonna lie. So it's weird that she's like asking for alimony, like, for the kids, child allowance for the kids while having the kids with him. Like, you think they just split that bill some whatever way, you know, like,
okay,
it's your kids, like, you know, like, I don't know why you're having it set like every month pay me whatever you're paying for your other kids.
But it sounded like do you know, like, if she takes all the kids out or something and like buys
No. I think it was like, let's say he's paying Hannah like $2,000 a month, for the 3 kids.
Yeah.
She's expecting him to pay $2,000 a month for the 2 kids.
Oh, well, yeah. I agree with that.
Right. And I get it, but at the same time, it's like, but we're together, so why am I paying child allowance? Like,
well, because you need to support your kid.
Yes, but I think you should just be spending. Like, it's not like there should be X amount. It's like, well, I guess if you want to, like, anyway, there's a lot. I feel like,
I don't know. I don't think it's the X amount. I think she's saying like pay half. Help me pay half for our kids' stuff.
I don't know. I feel like she's because from the sound of it sounds like he's giving child allowance to both moms, right, for the kids, and then he's still paying for half the household and so on and so forth, right? And okay, that's whatever. But I find it weird that once again, I don't understand. Maybe this is my personal point of view. I don't understand going into a marriage with someone and not wanting to take care of the kids they had before that marriage. Like, I get the whole, and when I say like take care of the kids, I don't mean fully take them on. Like, that's,
she seems like she's taking care of them.
But what I'm saying is like being like, oh, I will never ever spend a single dime on your kids. If any dime I spend on them, you're refunding me. That's just so weird to me, because I'm like, if you love someone, would you not love something that came from them too?
Anyway, it is a little bit like weird, and I would hope that she's not doing this for like taking the kids out to McDonald's or something, you know.
I think she is, but because he said.
The thing is, at the same time, right? These are 5 kids. Having to provide for 5 versus just 2, it's a big difference.
Yeah.
And like, I get it if you're doing it once in a while, but you know what? After some time, it's gonna get expensive.
Well, it sounds like it's a once in a while. No, like it doesn't sound like she said like, oh, anytime she takes out the kids and they're all there, she will Venmo him as in like request the money for those 3 kids.
That tells me that they spend enough time together.
Well, it's like here and there.
Like if it's enough for him to complain about it, like they're spending time together
and or whatever. I just think it's so weird. Don't get me wrong. Like, once again, I think this is super weird. And I feel like she's completely like throwing those 3 kids to the side. Not completely, like financially. I mean, she's financially throwing those kids to the side. But like, she's like, I want no financial responsibility with these kids.
But they have a mom. Like,
yes,
they have
but
money
I feel like
from
if
that
you're,
side too.
Yes, but I feel like if you're with the kids, like, don't be like, send me a Venmo request because of like you bought all 5 of them McDonald's. And you're asking, because she says a Venmo request for the 3, not for the 2. But for the 2, he has to pay half, right? So technically, he's paying like 2/3 if you want of the whole thing.
Why is it weird? But at the same time, it isn't my kids. Like.
But then why are you with me? Like, I feel like, for example, I think a good example is like, let's forget Hannah, right? Let's say Hannah was in the picture and he was taking care of those 3 kids.
Then
right?
they become your kids fully.
And once again, they become your kids fully, regardless of Hannah in the picture or not, because the thing is, he's taking care of those kids as well, right?
But it sounds like they live with the mom.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying like he still takes care of the kids, right? So I would hope that it's a situation where, like, I feel like if you're gonna join into a marriage with someone who already has the kids before them, you're signing up to take care of those kids additionally on top of whatever kids you guys might have together.
So do you expect her to just pay for everything all the time?
No,
all the kids?
I absolutely.
I think if anything, she should split bill for all the kids. 5 the kids, split bill.
That's what I would. That's what I would agree with. But what she's doing is 3 of them full bill you.
Yeah.
These 2 half bill.
I don't know. I think you're focusing on the small things here, because there seems to be a lot more. Like, he's complaining about having to pay bills, having to pay like child support. He's complaining that he now has to pay like for university, and he's complaining that he has to do it for his own kids too. And he's like, why do I have to do it for all of them?
I think he's complaining that, like, essentially, if you look at it, the money division, he's paying 2/3 and she's paying 1/3. As in, like, he's taking on all his existing kids and the extra kids, right? Where she's only taking on the 2 kids that she signed up for, quote unquote, signed up for.
She seems like she said that he did say that she pays for a lot of things for their kids herself.
Out of the money he contributes to her.
No, I don't.
Well, if he's giving her a monthly allowance for the children, what? She's just using her own money, but leaving she's using the children.
I don't think he's very involved.
I think she's using the money he gives her every month to take care of the kids, so we don't even know how much of her own money she's using, and that's the thing.
But the thing is, he didn't even tell us that he does give her monthly money.
He did.
He said that she requested it, but he didn't say that he gave it to her.
He said he gave it to her because he's like, all of this is taking a toll on me. That's what I'm saying. So it's pretty crazy that she's just.
But at the same time, what I'm thinking is the mom, right? Surely, like, is she not contributing to her kids too? Like, if they go out and stuff, like, all the time, would she not contribute?
You see, I think Hannah is actually paying for all kids if they're all there together, because he didn't say anything about Hannah.
No. We don't know that.
I would assume so, because he would complain.
I assume that he pays for his kids.
Well, he's from the child allowance, like the way Stacey's getting the child allowance.
I assume like Hannah's making him pay for his kids. To be honest, it doesn't even sound like they spend much time.
In the end of the day, it sounds like this guy's getting screwed over, and I don't know why he's with either of these women.
I think he's an asshole.
I don't think so. I think he's expecting his current wife to be a lot more considerate of his situation, and she's not being.
I think he's just complaining that he has to pay for stuff.
And he's
like, why do I have to pay for all this? Because they're your kids.
From my perspective, it's like she's not being very considerate of the host. Because, like, once again, because my ideology is like, if you're going into marriage to someone, you are agreeing. Once again, this is my viewpoint. You're agreeing to take on the burdens at which the other person is also going on. Like, for example, if I marry you and you have debt, I am agreeing to help you with your debt. I'm not saying, fuck you, Nicoletta, take care of the debt for the rest of your life. Yeah. It's you and I will work together to have a unit together and be successful, right? By her completely financially abandoning those 3 kids, like, once again, it sounds like she's helping out, like, with the pickups and stuff, but by financially abandoning she's not doing
isn't the mom, she's contributing, she as a mom is contributing for her kids, and Hannah as a mom is contributing for her kids.
Yes, but
I'm confused.
He's paying for the allowance, like, and she's using it from the allowance for her kids.
But he's paying for allowance for both kids, moms.
For both moms, whereas she's not even helping him out at all. Like, she's not being considerate.
She is paying for her kids,
using the allowance he's giving her.
And isn't Hannah using the allowance that he's giving her?
Yes, but the difference is he's not married to Hannah. She is married to Stacey.
So because he's married to Stacey, she should just take it and just pay for everyone.
No, I feel like Stacey should at least be like, here and there, being like, okay, I'm not gonna charge you solely alone for your 3 kids, because technically they're my kids too, because I am their stepmom. You know, not just go fuck yourself, pay for them by yourself. You know, I don't know. For me, it just seems slimy. Personally, for me, it seems slimy.
I don't think it's slimy. I think, like, 5 kids is a lot. It's a lot of responsibility.
It is. But then why did you marry this person if you didn't want to even sign up for the first 3 kids? That's my take. Like,
no, and I get it, but, like, they do have financial stability from their own mother also.
Well, yes, but the money is also coming from him, which is their shared household.
Which is both homes. You know? Like, if he was out of the picture, both moms would be alone, and he would have to pay child support for both.
He would.
Whether he likes it or not.
Either way, I just feel like she is not, in my opinion, taking on what she signed up for. And it feels weird to me, because I'm like, yo, if that was me, I wouldn't have a problem with it. You know, maybe I am stupid. Maybe
But we don't know their initial agreement. They could have not. Like, we don't know what they agreed to.
And I would be like, if he signed up to marry knowing that she was like that, I think he's stupid as fuck, because why the fuck would you marry someone that wants nothing to do, like, financially with your pre-existing situation?
Or, like, so if they got together and she was like, yo, look, like,
I don't want to pay for a dime for your 3 kids.
Then I'd be like, no, I can't be with you. Okay, so you just expect your partner to take care of all the kids that you have.
Not take care, at least help out. Like, once again, if you had 50K debt and I married you, I am essentially agreeing that I would help you. No,
because that's the equivalent of you taking my kids on your kids that we made together. That's the equivalent, right? Whereas if you were still paying debt to your ex, that's kind of, why are you doing that? Why are you?
Debt is debt. Let's say Nicoletta randomly had an ex that she owed 50K to, right?
No, or whatever. No. That's not what I said. I said, say now I have debt.
Yeah.
We break up. You're with someone else, but you're still helping me pay off my debt. Why are you helping me pay off my debt? To be with your partner.
No. I would expect my partner to help me pay off your debt. that
Why
I'm
are
paying
you?
off.
No, that's
wait,
stupid.
no, sorry.
That is so stupid.
No, sorry,
You did
I wouldn't
not
be
just
paying
say
off.
that.
No, sorry.
What? No.
I thought I was paying you debt. Sorry.
No.
Like you were paying. Obviously, I wouldn't pay off your debt. But the same is like this is kids. Like
yeah,
I'm
no,
helping with the
I'm
kids.
not, and I'm not saying it's not. Like
That's what I'm saying. You would sign up for it. Like
I don't know. And then the whole like college thing. It's like he's like, I don't want to do that. Well, why not?
I think he's not saying that he doesn't want to do it. What he's saying is like, yo, I'm losing a lot of money. Like, I don't really have money because I'm paying for all this shit.
Well, like,
help me out a bit.
He only considered paying for college debt after Hannah said that she found out that Stacy's paying for her kids.
Either way, I think
messy.
it's a messy and scuffed situation.
The overall result was that he is the asshole. Everyone did say that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's your kids. Take care of all of them. Like
people are so selfish. What the fuck? In this world we live in, like, I feel like everyone is taking marriage as like it. I feel like the traditional sense of marriage of like till death do us part, as in like every burden you have, I will take on, and every burden I have, you will take on. Everyone's like, no, you deal with your shit, and I'll deal with my shit, but you help me deal with my shit.
So what we can agree on is that kids are burdens. On to the next story. Am I the asshole for not letting her boyfriend sleep over? My daughter is in college. She's 20 years old. And she stays at her boyfriend's a lot, which me and my wife do not like very much. We let her do what she wants nonetheless. She pays for her own tuition and works, plus pays for all her own things, minus we pay for her rent. We have a room for her and she does live with us. She asked if her boyfriend could come sleep over too, so that she could feel more comfortable staying at home more often. We said absolutely not. She was upset because she said it was her own room and that she has been dating him for almost 3 years. We will just not allow it under our roof, and she threatened to move in with him. We really want her to continue living here, but do not want them sleeping together under our roof. We do not like it with her there either, but she's an adult. We have a pretty good relationship, so this has been hard for us.
One, how can you pay for her rent when it's in your house? Weird statement. Okay, but it's
no, because she doesn't live home. She visits home. So they want her to visit more often. And she's like, if you want me to visit more often, can I at least...
Oh, okay. Sorry. That was a slight misunderstanding.
Yeah, no, because it wasn't very clear.
Yeah, because they said, like, pay for her rent. I was like, but she lives in your house. But, okay. No, once again, I wouldn't do it. But I think as I have grown up, you know, Nigerian household and that, if your parents say no underneath their house, their rules. Someone's houses, their rules.
Yeah. Do you know what's weird? Here in the edit it says, we spoke and she's going to stay with her boyfriend more and will try to move out at the end of the semester. So she does live at home?
Yeah, that's why I kind of understood. So she lives at home.
And they pay for her rent.
And so essentially they're like, we pay for the house.
Okay. And
instead of charging her, we pay for the house.
Okay.
You know? So that's what I'm saying. And like what its story is like, that's what I'm saying. Like, so she lives at home, essentially. And, you know, the
way they slid in that they pay for rent. Like, what are you talking about?
I was like, bro, she lives in your house. Why are you charging your kids?
So you
now,
pay
that's
rent.
a whole different topic that we need to discuss. That like people stop charging your kids rent. That's weird. But
yeah, we do need to touch on that at some point.
But like, no, yeah. So she lives at home, and they're like, we don't want your boyfriend here, and that's fair. Honestly, like my house, my rules, you know, kind of thing. Yes, like. You would like it, but like if your parents aren't comfortable with it, they're not comfortable with it. Like they're like, it's not like they're stopping her from going to his house. They've let her go to his house. They just like, yo, you sleep over at his house, but don't sleep over here. And it's just like comfortability, which is perfectly fine. I think, honestly, I don't think there's an issue with that.
Yeah,
you know, like if. Like, I wouldn't go to my friend's house and put my feet on the table, and they're like, hey, don't put your food on the table. I'm like, well, I feel comfortable putting my feet on the table, so I
I'm
will
gonna do it.
Leave my feet on this table, you know?
I'm going to read one of the responses from someone to this. And they said, you are the asshole. While yes, your house, your rules should not also be reasonable. Yours are not. We are in 2020, not 1822. Face reality. They're ready to do the horizontal tango and probably have for some years. In my opinion, the only reason why that should make you uncomfortable is if your walls were paper thin.
I don't give a fuck if my walls are paper thin. I don't want to even know that I am in the house my daughter is getting smashed upstairs. I'm not really interested in that. Like,
would you not rather have your kid be safe under your
I
roof?
would be like, wait till I get the fuck out of the house. Thank you.
Would you? Oh, hold on. You know, would you let
I'd be like your. Oh wait, I'm not saying that. I would be like certain parents who would be like, oh, I'm going for a walk for 30 minutes. 30 minutes, I will be back.
Cut that out.
You know.
Would you let your daughter have her boyfriend sleep over in your home?
In my house, yeah, but that's because I don't trust niggas.
So you'd rather like observe?
Yeah. I don't trust niggas. Because then I can be like, every 10 minutes, open the door. Hi, guys.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
So would you let them sleep over in the same bed? Like,
yeah, boy. Like, you know, I'm like, just remember, my room is here and the walls are thin.
First, like, I'm sleeping outside the door.
And if I hear even a peep, I'm smashing that door down. I'm breaking it.
Oh my God. But at least, you know what? Like, at least you would. Because, like, a lot of parents, even if they do let their partner stay over, it'd be, like, separate rooms.
Yeah. Like,
even if they're 20, even if they're 25, even if they're 50, it doesn't matter. You know, it's like, no, you can't do that.
I'm, as my parents would like to say, I'm slightly westernized.
Slightly. Yeah,
Slightly.
Exactly.
Slightly. You know, as I said, I'd still be like, on the door every time.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Hi. You know what? Let me just sit in between you twos right there.
I'm going to sleep right here.
You know, it's been a long time since I had a sleepover.
So wait, what are we saying? Are they assholes or not?
I don't think they are.
Yeah,
I but once again, this is probably like African East European mentality.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like
we kind of grew up with that.
Yeah, like people who live in the West would probably like
the overall result was asshole.
Yeah. I think anyone who grew up in the West would be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But I think if you have like traditional parents like from Africa or like Eastern Europe, like you're like, their house, their rules. Like,
I think, but I think that makes sense. It's like you said with the table, you don't just go to someone's house and do, like, even like shoes in the house. If someone's like, I'm not comfortable, can you take your shoes off? And you're like, well, no, because in my house I wear them. Like, what?
Fuck you.
It's not your house.
Nah, fuck you. Get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah, never welcomed here again. On to the next story. Am I the asshole for telling my sister to stop taking showers with her husband in my house? My sister...
What's wrong with people?
I don't know.
Stop doing things that people aren't comfortable with in their own house. Like, the fuck?
Okay. My sister and her husband moved in with us 2 days ago after they lost their apartment to medical debt for their child. My husband and I are more than happy to have them stay for a few weeks till they get this resolved. However, yesterday at 7 p.m., I was in the kitchen when my husband rushed in and said that he saw both my sister and her husband walk out of the bathroom. They'd most likely taken a shower together. My husband said that it irked him, and I agreed that that was somewhat inappropriate. He asked me to speak to my sister on this matter, and I did. She got defensive, asking how this is affecting me or my husband in any way. I told her that it made my husband feel uncomfortable, and would rather that they just take their showers separately. She started ranting about being overwhelmed by their son's health problems and not having some alone time together as a married couple, and found this activity as a bonding time to spend together. I apologized for how she felt, but requested that she do as I asked. She got mad at me and said that I was being inconsiderate and she didn't understand my husband's hang up on what she and her husband do. We started arguing and she stormed off to the guest room where my nephew and brother-in-law are. She's not speaking to me, but my husband said I did the right thing by speaking to her and setting this boundary. Am I the asshole and my husband for overreacting to this?
Once again, your house, your rules, but this one's also sticky. This is sticky because it's like your sibling, and at the same time, but it's still like, so one, showering together saves water, but
it does.
It depends on how long you're in there for.
So there is some extra info that she added. So she said that her husband didn't mention hearing anything, just saw them get out of the bathroom, and they were clothed. Second of all, it's only one bathroom in the house. And third of all, they spent approximately 10 minutes in the shower, according to my husband. This guy's really monitoring everything here. Like,
that's funny as hell. Okay, with all that details, it makes me be like, just live and let loose, you know? Okay. Once again, still your house, your decision. Like, whatever you feel comfortable with, right? I feel like you should respect that because you're the guest in the house. But I would be like, this is your sibling, live and let loose. 10 minutes? You know, noise?
I know that man had a timer.
But once again, it is also like, the problem is never noise. It's the fact that in your head, you know what's going on and you think about it. So you're like, But at the same time, it's like...
Why is he so hung up on it? These people are in their, like, 40s.
Man, I actually don't know. Like, if that was me and it was boss, I'd be like, yeah, whatever. I was just like, don't ever let me catch you making noise. I'll fuck you up. But at the same time, it's like, once again, their house, their rules. Like, if they're not comfortable, they're not comfortable. But, like, I'm like, why are you not comfortable? This is really not that deep.
It's the same energy as, like, you can't sleep in the same bed together.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, okay, but it's like, huh?
But once again, their house, their rules. But yeah, like, I think it's
a weird one. Like,
I think it's like, this is something you shouldn't be comfortable with. But who am I to tell you what you're comfortable and what you're comfortable and not comfortable with? You get me?
I find the husband so weird. Like I said,
the husband is definitely the weirdo.
He's so weird.
He's like, what, you trying to fuck her sister or something?
And the way he's like running to his wife, like, tell him to fix this. Like, I know, like I said, he was with a timer outside. Like, they were inside for 10 minutes. Like, okay, relax. Let's relax.
Also, they were clothed, so that means
they came out clothed. Like,
how long? Wait, the real question is, real talk. How long was that shower? Because like, how did you take off your clothes, get wet, dry yourself, put on your clothes, and get out all within the space of 10 minutes?
Yeah, actually, that's a good question. Maybe, like, do you know what? Maybe it was like, it potentially could have been one of them showering and one of them just chilling, talking to them. Like maybe it sounds weird, but you know what? Like, sometimes your partner's in the bathroom and you're like going in having conversation. They might have not even been showering together. Hell, one of them might have just gone to the bathroom and the other one wasn't there brushing their teeth.
Yeah,
like whatever it is.
There's a lot of holes here, to be honest. But at the same time, who am I to tell you what you're comfortable and not comfortable with? Your house, your rules. But at the same time, this is. I feel like you could have let this loose. Yeah,
and like with the whole backstory with their kid and stuff.
Yeah,
if like this is their bond.
America's fucked. Imagine being able to lose your home because your kid got sick. Fuck me.
Messed up. On to the next story. Wait, are they the assholes?
No assholes here. I'm sorry. Like, there's like, I don't think the partner, the brother and sister are assholes. I mean, the sister and her husband are assholes, and I don't think the people who are doing this are assholes because, once again, their house. It's like, as I said, it's just weird.
Yeah. Okay.
For me,
I think the overall.
It was definitely asshole.
Yeah, it was asshole.
Yeah, absolutely.
For me, the husband's the asshole just because he doesn't have a life. Like, just get a life.
I wouldn't even say he's an asshole. I just think he's a weirdo.
He's weird. Very weird. And on to the next story. Am I the asshole for telling my friend that her degree is useless if she has to leave the country to find work? I have a high school friend, Diana, whom recently got her master's degree. She lived in another city and we barely ever saw each other, and she was always too busy for long phone calls, so we only talked briefly every now and then. During the time she spent on her degrees, I managed to get married and start my own family. Diana was visiting her family and we met up for lunch. I asked her about her degree, work prospects, etc. She did her master's in translation or interpreting or something like that. And she said she got the job but will have to move to Brussels. I told her that's crazy. If she can't find a job locally, then her degree was a waste of time if she has to move to another country. She said it's an amazing job opportunity that she couldn't get anywhere around here. Apparently their job is related to EU Parliament or whatever. I admit it, I lost her with all the abbreviations she was using. She again said that it's an amazing opportunity and she's excited. I asked her about the pay and she told me. I said that my husband earns that without a degree, so I was right about the Easter of time and money. And she said it's a starting salary and it'll grow because the first year I saw pretty much training and being in a junior position. I again said that she could have gotten a similar job here and wouldn't have wasted 6 years and instead could have already worked and started a family. And here's where she was rude. She said that if she has to be as unhappy as I was, she didn't want a family. She threw in my face that apparently I'm complaining about my husband, but I'm criticizing her. He's the best husband in the world. I told her she's ridiculous and mean, and she called me an asshole, paid, and left the restaurant. I told my friends about this, and they're split in who's the asshole here. So tell me, am I the asshole for telling her the truth?
Let me just say this one thing. Any of your friends who said that you weren't the asshole here is an op, and they want you to fail. They don't want you to succeed because they know you're being a stupid motherfucker and they want to see you continue being a stupid motherfucker. How could you call that? That was like, no offense to the Americans that watch this. That was such an American response. Being like, imagine having to move to Europe to get a job. What are you doing? Like, America is the greatest place on. I don't even have a passport.
And I'm making the same amount as you.
I wonder why. Anyway, moral of the story is that is dumb as fuck. Diana dodged a bullet because that's a terrible friend.
Yeah.
I'm wondering why you were friends with that person for so long. Even the way she was telling the story vexed me. It's like, EU Parliament or whatever like, your face.
She's like, I lost it with all the abbreviations.
Like what is wrong with you? Are you mentally okay? Are you deranged? Oh my days. It was actually, that story was vexing me. Like,
yeah.
Like, I could just imagine if I was Diana listening to this, my blood boiling, blood pressure through the roof.
But
like, you're lucky you didn't come out of here getting strangled because holy shit, you're annoying.
Do you know what bothered me even more? When she listened to all this and then she still said, yeah, but I'm happy, you know? And she continued her like, but you could have had a family. Like, not everyone wants a family. What are you talking about? It's just
so weird.
No, I just don't get it. Like,
so weird. You're a very strange person. I don't know what's mentally wrong with you, but you need to get yourself checked out. Not gonna lie. And your friends that agree with you, they're ops.
Yeah.
They're ops. They're
are.
either as ignorant as you are or they love to see you fail. Both are bad.
Yeah.
Both are very bad.
Yeah, no, I just don't, I get it. I don't get it. I'm happy she's coming to Europe. It's probably a better environment for her. That's all I gotta say, to be honest. On to the final story of today's episode. And it goes like this. Am I the asshole for making my ex a birthday cake even though his girlfriend told me she has already ordered one? I'm an amateur baker and I like to make cakes for people for their birthdays. My ex doesn't like sweet stuff, but our kids like helping me make a cake for him, so I normally make one for him anyway for their sakes. This year, his girlfriend planned a party for him and she told me she had already ordered him a cake, so I didn't need to make one. I told her that was fine, but my daughter kept asking me when we would make her dad's cake and was upset when I said we wouldn't because she assumed I didn't like my ex and that's why I wouldn't make him one. Since the cake has always been more for the kids than for my ex, I decided to just make him a small one since it's not like he eats cake anyway, and I didn't want my kids to think I dislike their dad. I told his girlfriend beforehand that I was going to make a small cake and she told me not to, and that I couldn't bring it to the party. I told her that I had to bring it to the party as that's when the kids would give him his gifts. I offered to come early and give it to him before the other guests arrived, and then they could put it away and nobody else would know about my cake. But she didn't agree with me and then repeatedly told me not to bring it. I did take it with me in the end, and now she keeps complaining to mutual friends that I did it on purpose to ruin the party and calling me weird for making him a cake after I was told not to.
Bitch, shut the fuck up. God,
which one?
The fucking girlfriend.
Okay.
The current girlfriend. Oh my days. Like, it's for the kids, not for the fucking guy. Like, it's just like the kids want to be involved in their dad's life, being like, oh my God, daddy, I made you a cake. I helped mommy make me a cake.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, just take it. It's just a fucking cake, bro. And who the fuck is that about having multiple cakes at a party?
At the end of the day.
You know, like, people are going to eat the cake.
A win is a win.
Like, it's really never that deep. It's never that deep.
I know.
You know, like, just
let it's weird.
Like, it's so, like, I feel like she just feels insecure. I love saying that. Just let the kid give the cake, like, please. Oh my God, it's for the kids.
Yeah, I think if it was that much like of I think if it wasn't that big of a like deal, if she didn't want people to like see it, she could have done what she said to just bring it earlier and get it out of the way. If she didn't want
exactly.
guests to see.
But no, it's because she doesn't like the ex being involved at all. That's why. That is why.
I agree.
And you shouldn't care about the ex. You should care about the kids, because if you're trying to like at least let those kids have somewhat of a decent relationship with you, you should be letting that shit slide. If anything, you should be getting involved. Just saying, this is part of the things that you sign up with. You get it with someone who already has a kid. Just saying.
Yeah. But no, I don't think she's the asshole for bringing the cake. I think it's
absolutely not.
Completely fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was all our stories of today.
Let us know what you think in the comments because all of them are comment sections. So.
Like, subscribe, share. If you're listening, press the little star.
Yeah, you can't comment in Spotify or Apple Music. I just realized, but you can like review us nicely. Just saying.
Yeah. Do that.
Do that. Cheers. Anyway.
Till next time.
Peace.